Maelstrom News fans, it appears as though Israel has decided to go full potato. As you will recall, Russia previously made an agreement with Syria to supply S-300 surface-to-air missiles to the country to help defend themselves from attacks from other countries. Israel recently has been in Moscow trying to lobby them to not go through with the purchase that they've already agreed to. The reason for this is that these S-300 missiles would give Syria the ability to defend itself from air attacks coming from other countries. Now, the Israeli Defense Minister, Yalan, has hinted at possibly taking military action against Russia if they do decide to send the missiles. Clearly, this move is a threat to us. At this stage, I can't say there is an escalation. The shipments have not been sent on their way yet, and I hope that they will not be sent. If, God forbid, they do reach Syria, we will know what to do. The implication here is clear. Israel is threatening military action against Russia, perhaps even going as far as blowing up the shipment before it actually gets there, or even possibly launching a strike on Russia itself. This is absolutely suicidal and insane because Russia will not tolerate any kind of action taken against it, particularly someone who's as much of a NATO puppet as Israel. In no way, shape, or form will the Russian people or Vladimir Putin actually allow their country to be attacked by Israel for simply living up to an agreement that it had already agreed to go through with. If there's one thing that we can learn from the history of the Russian people, is that they do not back down, and they absolutely, in no way, shape, or form, will ever be intimidated by another country. If an attack is launched against Russia, you can damn well bet that the Russians will attack back, and they will do so with a massive military force. Russian soldiers, the Russian military, are no slouches and very, very capable of inflicting serious damage to anyone who poses a threat, particularly someone who's already attacked them. Now, but what can we learn from this? What we see here is the contradictions within the imperialist world itself. Israel, NATO, the US have their own specific interests in ending the existence of a free Syria, one that is largely secular and doesn't bow to the will of imperialist masters. They want this, possibly aside from Iran, one last bastion of resistance against NATO to be eliminated. Now, it's also in Russia's interest for this state to continue to exist. Russia needs all the allies it can against US hegemony. And frankly, you can't blame them. U.S. hegemony is starting to gain some steam again in the Middle East, possibly due to the fact that it's afraid of the rising influence of China. So we do see different conflicting interests here. So once again, we can definitely see how two groups of ruling elites in two different countries produce a contradiction. Both sides are vying for power, while the resources the capital that's being put into this conflict could easily be put towards the needs of the people. And again, this fight is also over resources. Resources that the working class, the people, could use to their own benefit if they just simply distributed it according to need. But that's not how it works. This is capitalism. And in capitalism, it's a fight to see who gains the maximum profits, who gains the rights to certain resources, and who gains the rights to certain spheres of influence. So once again, we can see that there is a contradiction within the world imperialist system itself. Of course, in this situation, we as anti-imperialists should side with the people of Syria over NATO, the US, and Israel. And a benefit to that, what would help that, is to have Russia bring those missiles to Syria. So I definitely do and think that we should all be hopeful that Russia does give those missiles to Syria as they had promised.